from a card perspective, Luka versus Tatum for a title has major implications on sports cards. Like it does. It matters.
RIP any Luka doubters.
All right, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Card Talk. I'm Ryan, joined as always by Tyler and Lou. And on today's episode, we have a ton of Facebook questions. We're going to do a little Q&A. We're going to start with what's on your mind here in a second, and then we'll get into play of the week, as well as a little chatter on the NBA playoffs. So we'll start with what's on your mind. I'll go first this time. I don't normally go first. But there's been a couple times in the last couple months I've had to eat my words. This is going to be one of those times. Jay clipped it on IG. I told Tyler it would be real tough if the Rangers didn't come back and win the series. He's like, it's going to, Rangers, it's going to be tough for them to come back, but not too tough. It wasn't too tough. Rangers came back, won Game 7 in the Garden against Crosby and the Penguins. I texted the boys that when Panarin scored, definitely miss him in Columbus. Line A is sweet, but Panarin is just a whole different animal. Kid is a stud. So shout out to Ty and his Rangers, and props to me for not seeing that through. I just should have known that like it was going to happen, and I didn't, and that's on me.
Game 5 was at home. Game 6 was on the road. Game 7 was at home. Like, it felt good about where we stood.
A lot of people are saying that Tyler and I called that goal, as seen in our group chat.
Yep. Yeah, literally, Lou was texting, man needs to get a grip. All Ranger fan were like, my man needs to wake up, just shoot the puck. And there we go. I got to say, the other clip, the mid-season, maybe like first quarter of the season, named Kreider PC, he goes on then to have the second most goals ever as a Ranger in the regular season behind Jaromir Jagr. Oh, yeah. Like, he's had a historic Ranger season. The throwing of the iPad was just
all time.
You guys saw the clip.
Hockey guy.
A hockey guy through and through. Fuck your iPad. Keep it moving. I'm hyped. If nothing else, it means some more hockey. Carolina's going to be tough. They on whether it's StubHub or something like that, they literally you can't buy tickets to the game unless your credit card billing address is North Carolina or South Carolina.
Yeah, they've been doing that. I think that's cool. I'm a fan of that, to be honest, but I get it.
I get it too. It's like one of those things it's like Marcus Smart. Like, you hate the guy, but you kind of if it's on your team, you're happy about it.
The Carolina Hurricanes ticketing practices is very similar to Marcus Smart.
That's exactly right. You hate the guy when it happens to you, but you kind of like it.
That's very true. It's the least correct analogy of all time, but also the most correct analogy of all time.
That's what we were going for. And then R.I.P. the Suns, R.I.P. Devin Booker, R.I.P. any Luka doubters.
We'll get into the NBA playoffs in a minute because I think it's going to be a good conversation. But agreed.
What's on your mind, Lou? Unless you still had some other things, Ryan.
No.
I'm excited for VCon this weekend. I think it'll be a good time. But we haven't really discussed it on here that much. There's going to be like a cool flea market with like card tables and all that stuff. So I think it'll be a good time seeing some people there, some pals. Might go to some shops, maybe the Real Break shop. We'll see.
Where's it at?
Minneapolis.
Isn't that where that US that esports team is?
Yep.
Yeah, the Rocker. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah.
They're doing the conference at the football stadium, so it's going to be 6,000-7,000 people in the US Bank Stadium.
I think the Vikings play.
Yeah.
It's gonna be dope. It's gonna be very dope. And there's a good flea market. Sasha will be there. Some other characters will be there. There'll be a lot of familiar faces from the hobby there.
All your favorite card dopes will be at VCon, except for Ryan.
Doping it up. RIP Suns. Although I gotta say, McDavid. We'll stay on the hockey thing for a little bit. Willed his way. 2-0 Game 7 victory at home. If you watch the assist creation and then the goal creation, it's about as put the thing on my back as it gets.
Yeah. That goal to go up 2-0 was
spectacular.
Yeah.
Spectacular. He's a special cat. Hockey's been fun. I saw someone send through like the last quarter, like card ladder of the last quarter. The overall market's down 11%. The only thing that's up is hockey and baseball, I think maybe.
Probably vintage baseball or something.
Yeah, vintage baseball. I'm in here in this coffee shop. There's dogs walking around. That's what's on my mind. We're fully locked in. We're in the West Village. If you're listening to this, my homie from Kaboom Cards came through. Will, good people. He was talking a lot of NFT Kaboom stuff. But if you're in the West Village, West 11th and Hudson, cafe, dog friendly. It's good espresso. Don't be depressed. Drink espresso.
That's kind of funny.
Real quick.
Can I do one more quick one before we move over?
I got a quick one too.
I need a soccer team. I'm deciding to commit. I need a soccer team below the Premier League.
Okay.
Sheffield lost. That hurt me. I was really leaning that way. So I'm trying to make a decision. I'm going to get in the mix. I want to have like a random little soccer team that I like.
I like it. It's the perfect window right now. You got a couple weeks, settle in, pick up a couple different vibes, get some input from this show. You're looking for a championship team that will be up in the Premier League in the next couple of years that you can get behind.
Yeah, I'm hearing Reading is maybe an option. I gotta get
interesting. I like
it. Shout out. I mean, I was disappointed that the Maple Leafs did not win. I know they're a Canadian team, right? Like, love to see a U.S. team win. But Matthews has one of the best seasons ever for an American. Absolutely dominant. That team is loaded. I was watching Game 7. There's like 5 minutes left. They're on the power play. They got Tavares, Islander, Mitch Marner, Matthews. They have. This team is loaded. And just see in the first round. And I'm like, 5 straight years they've lost a series deciding game to get eliminated in the first round. Shout out to Ty in his background. It sounds like Matt's making a nice coffee.
Yeah, there's literally a nice coffee being made. I'll be better.
But yeah, it was again. I wanted to see Matthews versus McDavid in the Cup. Not going to get that. Would love to see McDavid get there. It'll just be a perfect transition right into the basketball stuff because from a card perspective, Luka versus Tatum for a title has major implications on sports cards. Like it does, it matters. And I was talking to somebody the other day when the Bucks just got blown out of the gym. I said, it's a good thing Giannis won. It's a good thing for his cards that Giannis won. If he's 9 years in and has no titles, that's cool. But his stuff is pretty expensive. I mean, it's probably down from peak, but Giannis has back-to-back MVPs, finals MVP. That's a lot different of a career than back-to-back MVPs. And I think Luka, like, again, I saw it last year, right? Luka, they were good. I'm like, man, they were really good. They didn't make it. Now they're in the Western Conference Finals. And like, I tweeted about it the other day. I get it. Jalen Brunson's playing well, and Spencer Dinwiddie's cool, and Dorian Finney-Smith. Those dudes are not those guys would not start on playoff teams. Luka is. I've been very hesitant about Luka. I'm like, man, his stuff's high. Like, he's good, but like, is he that good? That dude is an animal, and him being in the finals and playing for a title, like, it'll matter. It definitely will have card implications if they can get past the Warriors. Just the fact that he's here now, though, definitely matters.
He's a killer.
Yeah.
And he talks more shit than anybody, and that's part of what makes him so great. He does not stop talking.
The laugh after he gets ridiculous buckets, and then he just does the little shimmy back down the court, just laughing.
He loves to stare down. No one loves to stare down like Luka Doncic.
Some of these tweets, there's a tweet from March 31st, and it's the NBA from the NBA account, and it's like winner's work, and it says the Suns put an extra work following the 4-point road win, and somebody responded, Luka ate a McDouble and a bag of Skittles before Game 7 and smoked y'all, and it just couldn't be more true.
It's we talked about it before. It's like it looks like old man game when he's playing, and then you look up and he has 25 points at halftime, and it's like, what is happening?
It says Luka was on a McChickens, vodka, and hookah diet all summer, and still led this Mavericks team to the Western Conference Finals.
They're going to the finals, I think.
I mean, he literally is maybe one of the only people that really made Lil Wayne look like a clown, like in my entire life.
I mean, Lil Wayne called him a hoe, and then just showed up to Game 7. And just Luke, I mean, the Suns had 27 points in the half. Luka had 27 points.
Kevin Nagandi, who's like one of my all-time favorite sports people, I have a good relationship with him. He's been big in the card hobby. He tweeted like, it's just gonna be Luka lore for such a long time after Booker, hits him with the, that's the Luka special, and then he drops literally at half. Luka has 27, and the Suns have 27. It's a tough scene.
So it seemed like people really didn't like that Suns team. There was a video of LeBron from earlier in the year being like, you guys got to be humble, like all this. And then there was another video that came out yesterday of I think it was Pat Bev. It was saying like they were talking a ton of shit to us about
Pat Bev got buried, rightfully so. Like a couple other people came down.
Pat Bev got up at 4 a.m., brother, wore his nicest shirt and was like, hey, I'm just going to absolutely get on national TV and just bury a guy that,
Yeah, I respected Matt Barnes. Matt Barnes was like, listen up. Like, I'm a role player. You're a role player, bro.
Yeah.
You can't talk about legends like that.
Yeah.
Like, know your spot.
Yeah, so that's for sure.
The weekend, right? Game 7, some of these big games. I have two things that are on my mind from this weekend about these games, and I want to ask your guys' opinion on them. The first one, I don't remember the second one. The first one is, if the Warriors were to win the title, what kind of impact would that have on Kevin Durant's legacy?
0. I think people are searching.
Winning before him, winning after him doesn't mean anything.
I don't think it speaks more to them than it does to him. I think.
Agreed.
He had some interesting tweets yesterday. He's a very smart person, Kevin Durant.
Very misunderstood about how to be a great player.
It was just like, I'm not doing top 10s anymore. Like, everybody works really hard. There's a lot of things that differentiate between winners and losers. And just because you prepare like a winner doesn't necessarily mean you're going to have the success of a winner. And then you get judged on that. And that's not fair. Was basically like the gist of what he was saying, was my takeaway. You're heated because he didn't go to the Knicks, but he
is. Yeah. I just think at the end of the day, I loved him a lot. Now I think he's a very, very, very talented basketball player that didn't make it all about winning.
Right now, right? Who is right this second? Who's the face of the NBA?
Who's the face of the NBA? I'd argue it's Steph Curry. But then I think you got, depends. Luka, that was a big series win. But I still think it's Steph Curry. My argument is that, when with Kobe and all this stuff and the logo, and Jerry West is taking an absolute bloodbath in this Magic winning time show.
What did he say? Didn't he demand an apology?
He's proving the show right.
Like crazy.
So dumb.
But there's no one that's changed the game of basketball in the last 20 years more than Steph Curry. And no matter what, if you play pickup, if you watch the NBA, the entire game's changed based around the three-point shot, and Steph Curry revolutionized that. And if they go and win again, it's just a wrap.
Yeah, I think Courtney's right. It's Giannis or
big guy. Yeah. And Giannis is also just the most dominant. If he had half of a player with him, oh my goodness. All right, what's on your mind? In the comments, bury me for Grayson Allen, because my man.
Grayson Allen.
We'll leave it there.
I have a hard time believing Jordan Nwora doesn't add more to that team than Grayson Allen does.
I know. We'll keep it moving. Next.
At this point, who's winning? Who's going to win it all?
Celtics.
I hope so.
I really, really would be devastated if that occurs.
I really hope it's Boston.
If
you're asking me to bet with my head, my money, I'm putting it on the Warriors. That team's good. They're really good.
They're a really good group.
Yeah, Jordan Poole just adds. I mean, Clay's having an off night. Curry's having an off night. You got this, dude. I mean, the third Splash brother. I mean, they draft so well. Like, man, they're like, that's the thing about the Warriors. Curry, Clay, Draymond, Poole. They're not like trades. These are all drafted guys, man. They're good. I think they're going to be hard to beat. If we get Jayson Tatum, the killer, man, game 6, Jayson Tatum, the Celtics, man, they're going to be a tough out. It's going to be a good, like, The NBA playoffs, we've said it a million times in the last couple weeks. It's not even comparable to the regular season. The NBA playoffs are electric.
Yeah, they are. They're really good.
Yeah, they're great. So is the NHL playoffs.
It's been a good playoff season.
Yeah. But honestly, it's been that way this year. The NFL playoffs, we got the best playoff game ever. That was the best game we've ever seen.
Yeah, you know what's interesting about that? Because I think everybody knows now across the board that no one in any sport really cares about the regular season. Because even the baseball playoffs are really good.
Yeah, they're going to have to keep figuring it out.
Because now I wonder if players are really, which I guess I don't hate, like they're really full sending into the playoffs and like really, really, really trying in the playoffs. But they got to find a way to capture some of that for the regular season.
That's why the NFL is so awesome. Every game matters. You play once a week. You only play 17 games. It matters. That's why the NFL just, I think, continues to rule.
That's always barking over here.
All right, let's get into some of the Facebook questions. Jason said we have quite a bit, so shout out to everybody who submitted questions in the Card Talk Facebook group. All right, so this is from Michael Davis to start us off. Since I recently started a YouTube channel about the hobby, went to film at a local card show and was very hesitant to film because some dealers didn't want to be on camera or in a video. What's the proper protocol on shooting content at card shows? This show, Gary V. Ryan, has inspired me to chase my dreams as a content creator in the hobby. Love this podcast. Respect.
I feel like you focus on the cards, right? Don't look up at the person unless they give you permission. Just ask.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, it's tough, right? There's like, I don't ask every single person about it. I think a lot of what we try to focus on is more me than the other person. Just to kind of keep, in case someone's like, hey, I don't want to be on camera. If somebody sees it, I don't try to be super discreet with the camera. I think that's one of the things is like, I'm not trying to hide that you're being recorded. I'm pretty like Brian's got the camera right by me. Like it's pretty obvious that we're recording something. But especially if we make a deal, most of the, like, I think a lot of times what you could do is you could just ask is like, hey, we're filming. Like, do you care if I put this on video? If they say no, they say no. But yeah, I mean, like with the way the hobby is now, there's a lot of cameras at a lot of these shows, like especially the bigger ones. So.
Yeah, I would agree. I think that the number one most important thing is to be very upfront, right? First and foremost, the content has to start with you. If your strategy is to go in and film everyone else, well, that's a different game. For when we first started doing Daily V, just for context, so that's Daily V, which was Gary when he first got into like vlogging and doing heavy content. I emailed every single person that he met with and came into contact with to ask for permission to film. So some people are just not comfortable, and it's not their job to be comfortable. You have to, default into people are going to be uncomfortable and ask, hey, you mind if we shoot some stuff here? And if it's a no, that's fine. Do your thing anyway. You don't make the whole thing about filming. Make it about capturing what you're up to and be forthright about asking. Like, don't try and sneak. Always go up and say, hey, I got a camera here. We're just doing some content stuff. Do you mind if we film? If not, it's all good. That is a far better. Or, hey, if we come back and we shoot a little bit, like you got to very much ease into it and put yourself in the other person's shoes. Default into no one wants to be on camera. It'll set you up better rather than like, because you see this show, you see, again, Gary, 8 years, we were emailing every person, hey, do you mind? And these were like 30 meetings a day. And each person would say, can we see the footage? Can we do this? Can we do that? So like really got into understanding of the intricacies around people's comfortability, when it makes sense to ask, when it doesn't make sense to ask, what are the vibes, what's the content you're trying to get out. Also, I don't think it's worthwhile to record for 10 hours without a plan of what's coming out, right? Like Ryan, your process now is so down pat. You have another, videographer, like you guys know what's looking to come out of a recording. So I think a lot of people record for hours and hours and hours and then get the footage and like 3 weeks later, still nothing's come out. And then you're just wasting time. You're not doing the best at the show. Like go in with a plan to capture what you want to capture. That way you can execute on a little bit better and start to build that comfortability and understand what maybe on the editing side is coming out of it before you go in. I think it's very overwhelming to walk somewhere with a camera with no strategy of what's coming out, just film and then go home and be like, all right, now I got a lot of fucking work to do. And people were uncomfortable and didn't want to be about that,
Sure.
That's what I would say.
All right, Cody Maiden asks, what sets do you feel are under the radar that are maybe gaining popularity but still have room to grow?
We were talking in the wasn't the Play of the Week group talking on the Horizons the other day?
Oh yeah, they were talking about those.
Yeah, I like those. I mean, downtown, like, there's obviously PMG is so much at its moment. I'm like, what's the next insert that may take off? Hockey is no longer under the radar. Yeah, maybe on the horizon.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like this is a tough question because nothing's really a secret. Like everyone knows what everything is. You know what I mean? So it's a tough question, and it's also. And I'm not saying Cody's doing this. It kind of becomes about like, which set do you think has the most upside? And I don't really think I want to play that game.
Yeah, I think I would agree with Lou. Is there's just not a million. It's not like a secret anymore. Like that this set or this set is that. The market will decide. So
yeah,
kind of be my take on that.
If it looks cool, it's a good set. That's the answer to the question.
Yeah, collect what you like. Kwame Lynch says, "Do you think I should buy a Michael Schumacher rookie PSA 10 instead of 2020 edition rookies? His card is a lower pop, cheaper, and has the same amount of championships as Hamilton does."
What? What does that mean? Oh, his dad. Yeah, no. Basically, the question is 2020 versus 2021. Schumacher, I think it's 2020 is the one that I like more. I might have said 2021 last time, but I think now that I'm thinking about it a little bit, I think I like 2020 more.
No, I think he's literally asking.
No, he's asking about
they should purchase a vintage.
Yes.
Vintage
OG
F1.
Schumacher, Michael Schumacher, not Mick Schumacher.
It's a tough question.
That was a confusing question.
He's saying, would you rather buy a 2020 rookie card, like the first Topps Chrome rookie of some of these guys, like his PSA 10s, or a Michael Schumacher PSA 10, like the OG one from the 90s?
I'm seeing Michael. I'm thinking Mick. That's what's going on here. I think 2020 is the answer still. I would still rather have 2020.
Yeah, I think it depends on like your inch, like as somebody that's getting into the sport now, I think I'll end up getting a Schumacher in time.
A Mick.
No, Michael. Mick is the one now.
I'm trying to answer. You just said I'm going to get one. I didn't know what you meant.
I'm talking about a Michael Schumacher.
Yeah.
Right, because he's an all-time guy, but I'm not. As somebody that's just recently got into the sport and hasn't like been into it forever, I didn't get to see Michael Schumacher race, so he doesn't intrigue me as much as like Lewis does or Max, like because that's where I got into it. So as I get more into the sport and learn more about the history, I might have more interest in that. But again, if you're a huge F1 guy and you love the sport and you grew up on it and you've been around it for 20 years, I think it might be a different conversation. But Michael Schumacher wasn't what got me into F1. It was the Netflix documentary and Lou talking about it and Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen. So to me, it's as a collector and it's something I enjoy really collecting. I would rather have the newer guys at the moment just because I don't necessarily know. I've seen, the documentary on him. Like I've watched some stuff, but just doesn't quite do it for me as much. It's 1992 grid formula rookie. They do anywhere from like 800 to about 975.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. Eric says, was looking for a non-sport card on eBay graded by PSA. Cert number doesn't show up on PSA pop reports. How can you tell if PSA forgot to add it to the pop report or if it got removed after the fact for being fake or another reason?
I don't think they forgot, right?
I have a hard time believing PSA's forgetting to add.
I don't even think it's possible.
Yeah, me either.
I would ask PSA. That's what I would do.
Yeah, because if it gets taken off, there's usually a little message on top. So I don't think it was taken off either. I think it's just.
Could it be user error?
Yeah, that sounds more likely
to Eric. I just did you type it in right? Like, were we in the right spot? Right. Like, that's what I would do. Is I would triple check. But if you can't find it, I would ask PSA.
Yep.
Yeah. Eric, if you want to hit us with the specific card, maybe we can do a little bit more homework and diligence. But it seems like a red flag, maybe, if you're punching in the actual cert number and it's not popping up on PSA. I'm not sure what card we're talking about here. Obviously, there are rampant amount of fakes out there. I do believe that. So you just got to be thoughtful.
All right. Maxi asks, with certain sports cards and their markets vastly growing in popularity in America, such as soccer, is it worth keeping your ear to the ground for other emerging sports which have sports cards? For example, with the 2031 Rugby World Cup coming to America, is now the best time to looking into rugby cards and starting to buy up all the greats. P.S. Lugenu, you've got to choose Reading, pronounced Reading, FC as your championship team to support.
Yeah, see, Reading, I think, has legs, is what I'm coming to understand here.
You gotta dig in a little bit to the history.
Yeah, seriously.
Need a little bit of that from you.
Rugby World Cup feels like way too far away.
9 years.
2031's a long time, guys. Like, let's really.
Yeah, simmer down. I think we're chasing a little bit on this one.
I even think we're chasing with 2026 or whatever the hell it is. Like,
easy. The World Cup's coming to this country.
Yeah, 4 presidencies.
U.S. might not even make it to 2031 at this point. Now, what I would say ahead of 2031, I believe the world running championships are happening in Oregon for the first time ever in the States this summer.
You're getting fired up for the running championships?
I think there's going to be some action. Just be prepared for all summer.
Stop it. We're going to get in trouble. Stop it.
Just be prepared for NBC to be having outdoor running all summer. They went heavy.
Hang on, pause you for 1 second. I will make a statement right now. I will not be watching the World Running Championships.
For sure won't, Rob.
How about the Tour de France?
I am locked in for the Tour de France.
That's what I'm saying.
0%.
Golf.
Tiger. That's what you need to know.
Yeah. Tiger.
Yeah. Tiger Woods.
Correct.
Keep it moving.
Exactly.
All right, Jason Morehouse says, does a photo and or video exist of Ryan's hair not being done? The world needs the footage.
It's a good question.
Yes, there are for sure.
We need Reg.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm sure. I know they're out there.
You take pride in
you get a cut?
Once a week.
You get a cut once a week?
I respect that.
Yeah. I should have hit you with it. Not that much.
Not that much.
Is it same time every week?
No, it changes. My mom cuts my hair.
Oh, yeah. Fire.
Yeah, so my parents live far away. So it just gives me reason to get out there and see moms once a week.
How far away?
45 minutes.
Nice. So depending on whatever the stitch is, you get out there, she cuts your hair?
Yeah, once a week.
Nice.
So wholesome.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's a good job by you.
In and out. So.
Is it in Ohio or across state lines?
It's in Ohio. We're in Columbus. We're 220 from the state border. So
your geography, Ty. Idiot.
Antoine Lindsay says, fellas, so I see an SSP for super short print and SP for short print on eBay listings. So what number quantity printed on a card qualifies under each at a $2.99 versus $5.99? Help. Love the show, and I'm not from Ohio. So SSP is not typically used on cards that are serial numbered. They're used on kabooms, on the horizons, downtowns, things that are case hits, rare, tough to find. At a $2.99, you could put short SP in the title because it is technically short printed to something, but I'm not throwing an SSP on anything that's serial numbered. It's mostly on things that are like red ink autos that are supposed to be limited print runs on certain products, or downtowns or kaboom case hits, or things Panini, white sparkles, things like that. It's not used for cards numbered to $2.99.
White sparkles are underrated, real quick, in my opinion.
White sparkles.
White sparkles are fresh as hell. And then next, I would say there's no official denotion of not of SP and SSP. That's just hobby terminology marketing, right?
Yep, sure.
Marketing is the
manufacturers have never used that. This card's SP or SSP.
I don't think they denote short print.
No, it's definitely if you look again, I haven't opened a Beckett in years. If you look up some of those cards, look at
Beckett might, but I don't think Topps and Panini do.
I'm talking about I don't know. I disagree on that. I know Carson Wentz Contenders is one of them that I know that it's short printed to 288. I think it's from 2016. if you look at the Carson Wentz label, I almost positive it says Carson Wentz SP.
Yeah.
It's not used very often. I know that,
but it's more been adopted as a form of marketing and advertisement around trying to sell a card.
A keyword.
Yeah.
Yeah, correct.
Yep.
Yeah, this actually kind of feeds into what I was going to say. I feel like this is more of a it's like one of these weird hobby knowledge gaps where you have to do the research to know the difference between an SP, SSP, how to denote what's really an SP versus what someone says is an SP, you know?
Yeah, I don't see it on either of the... Let me see if it's on this one. Yeah, it's not listed on any of the BGS or PSA slabs for Wentz, so I was off there. I think I've seen it a few times, but typically, yeah, it's not a common word used by card companies. It's more of like a...
Yeah, Topps doesn't have it for the F1 set. That was the first one that came to my mind, so I looked. They don't denote, it doesn't say SP.
But Topps definitely has it. It doesn't say it, but there's the numerical thing on the back and the bottom with like Series 1, Heritage, like... They definitely have SPs in those. It's literally listed in the checklist on like Topps Heritage has like color swaps, image variations, French text. Like I think, right. I mean, Upper Deck has French text, like acetate rookies. So it's out
I'm a big
there.
French text guy. 2018 Panini Road to World Cup had like the not hieroglyphic. I actually think it was like
yes. Like the Egyptian,
Russian?
Isn't it? Like
it's
Egyptian.
I
think it's Egyptian. Yeah. Those are sneaky because they're not notated they're not notated anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So you'd be scrolling through a dime box and you could completely catch one of those. Like
totally, and they're like they just look a little bit different to the eye.
2018, that's Mbappe's rookie year.
Yeah. I
think they're short printed to like 8. It's kind of like the PRIZM retail for football, like the red and the blues. Like one of them's SP to like 5, one of them's SP to 7 or 8 or something. All right, Anthony says... I think
they're like hieroglyph.
Yeah, that sounds right. I thought it was Egyptian. Anthony says, with PSA economy now open to the public, do you think cracking SGC BGS slabs becomes more doable at scale? If so, who are each of you buying and cracking to send to PSA?
Slow it down. Slow it down, everybody. Slow it down.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
If so, who are each of you buying in time for football?
I'm not intentionally buying something to crack.
Yeah, not anymore.
That is not a current strategy.
Too much risk.
I'll say Zach Wilson just to keep it fun and interesting and spicy, but yeah, same.
Yeah, I think it would be more like
does he even have any slabs?
A 0 of his card slab on a single one.
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking for football at this point, you're like, I think the question could be like, who is going to be hot before football season? I can get behind that. It's QBs, right? It's pick. I mean, come
Allen Robinson.
Come July 27th, I don't think Allen Robinson's going to be the guy people are looking for at the National. I think it's going to be name one of 30 quarterbacks, excluding Baker Mayfield and Ryan Tannehill. Other than that, most people will be looked for at the National. No Ryan Tannehill thoughts there, Ty?
No Ryan Tannehill thoughts. He's going to get beat out by Malik Willis. I'm coming with an entire new slate of individuals. Zip, what's up? Respect. I get it. You want to hear my new favorite players? Grayson Allen's out. Tannehill's out. You know, like there's a lot of new things, but you know who's not out of the playoffs?
The Rangers.
Chris Kreider and the Rangers. Yeah.
All right, next question, Jay. All right. Alex Pashan says, what should be done about fake slabs, reprints, and card art creators that are recreating flawless NT PRIZM silver cards to the T?
I think this is just another reason why slabbing is so important, authentication, grading, etc. There's nothing that will ever be able to be done about fake cards. People need to be educated. You need to educate yourself, ask a friend. And I would focus on, this is why I tend to focus on slab stuff to begin with, to avoid this type of things, because I've definitely noticed the fakes are getting a lot better by the day. Tyler mentioned it earlier.
Yeah, especially slabs too. There are fake slabs out there. It's where there's money, there's definitely going to be fakes, right? They've been faking Mickey Mantle 52 tops and 86 Fleer Jordans since before I started in cards, and they're going to continue to fake it, you know, for a long time. So yeah, I don't anticipate that changing a whole lot. Again, where there's a lot of money involved, that those kind of opportunities are definitely out there. So again, like Lou said and Tyler's mentioned, it's that's why slabbing is where it's at, is eliminates a lot of that stuff.
I think fake slabs is now the thing, even more so than maybe fake cards.
Yep. Agreed.
Also, right.
Well, Lou stepped out for a minute, but we were going to head into play of the week. Hopefully, Lou will be back to give us his insight before we. Oh, perfect timing.
I was like, we pre-planned it.
We're aligned. Let's get into play of the week. Jay says we got 4 this week. So right. Again, if you want to be in play of the week, make sure you guys reach out to Card Talk Pod on IG. Send Card Talk Pod on Twitter a DM. But we'll get it rolling. We got cmc.cards on IG. It says play of the week submission. Grab this at a value box at a show for $5. Posted on eBay for $99 and it sold instantly. I guess I posted it for too cheap. After fees and shipping, I netted around $80 profit in one day. Thanks, guys. Love the show. So this is an Anderson Silva 2011 Finest Gold Refractor numbered to 88. Wow, that seems like a hell of a buy in a $5 box.
Yeah, $5 box.
I mean, gold is the color, right, of the hobby, right? That seems to be the color that everybody wants is gold. Yep. So that's your first thing. That's old school Topps Finest UFC. Anderson Silva is a legend in the game. Like, seems like it's definitely a good buy at $5. But the one thing I would say is it's not always fair to assume, again, this might not be that situation, but it's not always fair to assume that just because it sold quickly doesn't mean it would have sold for more money. It doesn't mean it's a $500 card just because someone bought it at $100. Somebody might have been willing to pay $100 for it, and that was their max, and they're just like, hey, I'm not going to wait. I'm not going to negotiate. I'm just going to pay $100. But I would always say, don't beat yourself up about, hey, I could have gotten more for it. You made $80 for a little bit of work very quickly in one day, and you moved on, and now you can buy 16 $5 cards and flip them again. So yeah, don't beat yourself up there.
Yeah, the 16 times 5 is interesting that you just said there. You're like, you have $80 now to go mess around with $5 cards and do it again.
Yeah, I think that's a big thing, right? Is just putting the money back in, letting it work again, and flip 5 into 10 a lot of times, then you get an $80 profit here and there. It just, you build and you do that once a week, twice a month. Those kind of things add up over time, right? I put on my story the other day is, there's 70 days till the National, right? Let's say you want to stop a week out. That's 63 days. You spend 30 minutes every day selling value cards and you raise $50 a day in that 30 minutes, $50, right? You're over 60 days. Right? You're going to go to the National with $3,000 because you spent 30 minutes and made $50 every day just by a little bit of effort, right? Find 30 minutes, 15 minutes to scan, 15 minutes to list, right? And then, ship every other day. It just, there's so much potential, but just doing a little bit of work. That's why that's why I did the value boxing series on YouTube, right? You don't need $10,000 in 15 hours. You need an hour and $100, $50. Like, you can do a lot with that. With a little bit of time, a lot of times, right? Progress, a little bit better every day has major results over the course of a year. Major results.
30 minutes a day. It's not a lot of time.
Tell them.
So, next one. All right, the next one is boom. A Finizo. It's from Alex. It's a long one. Got to get my camera. Got to zoom in on this one. All right. I wasn't full screen. It says, hey guys, here's my first submission for play of the week. I've contemplated submitting, but I figured I'd give it a shot. About a month ago, I was at a local weekend flea market just outside of Louisville, Kentucky. I walked in the door and immediately saw a stack of top loaders on a showcase that normally would have had sports cards. There was a guy looking through them, so I figured I would wait until he was done so I could look through them. As I was waiting, I noticed a box full of Marvel Series 4 trading packs that were marked $1 each or 25 for 20. I checked eBay comps and saw that some have recently sold around $8. I asked the guy what he wanted for the whole box, and he said he had more. He had 2 whole cases. I figured out a quick glance there's about 500 packs in a case. We came to deal for $200 for a case. Went home, did a little bit more research, and found out they were GameStop promotional packs from last year. I listed some on Buy It Now on eBay and listed some at auction. There was a total of 977 packs in the case, and only 5 packs were damaged. I sold every pack in 4 days on eBay, and I made a deal with someone for 800 packs via PayPal. All in all, I made roughly $1,550 profit on something I had no knowledge about. Sorry for the post being so long. Love the podcast. Keep up the great work, Alex. So these are Marvel Legends. Looks like they say Wave 4 Upper Deck GameStop exclusive trading packs. So there's a couple different eBay listings he showed here. One of them is $150 for 30 packs. Another one is 30 packs for $124.50. Yeah, that's pretty good.
What a find this is. The guy happens to have 977 packs of this stuff, and he sells them all to one guy.
I want to get him out of here. And then it's looking like he's selling them, 30 at 150, $5, 30 at 124, 30 at 195, 2 for 20, and then he did 800 for another, offloaded them, keep them moving.
I also love that it's in Louisville, not far from Ohio. Gotta love that.
It's a proper play, to be frank.
That's great. Yeah, good play.
That play. Yeah.
This is an amazing play.
Yeah, respect.
All right, next one, Jay. All right, this is from CXLB Cards from Colby. It says I started buying up Tyrese Maxey cards in January and came across this lot on Facebook for only $75. At the time, it was a solid deal, but nothing like it is today. I ended up talking the guy down to $70 shipped. Then I decided to start selling a few of the cards on eBay in late February and sent out the Blue Wave PRIZM and a Revolution out of 149 to PSA. Here's what I got for the cards on eBay. A Red Wave PRIZM sold for $41.50 shipped. A Courtside Rookie sold for $35 shipped. And an Optic Hollow sold for $40 shipped. And then in April, the 2 cards I sent came back from PSA. The Blue Wave PRIZM got a 10 and the Revolution got it at 9. I ended up selling the Blue Wave PRIZM for $425 on eBay and razzed the Revolution for $100 on Instagram. Cost $70 for the cards plus $90 for grading, which equals $160. Sold for $636.50.
Great work, Colby.
It's pretty good. Tyrese Maxey's a star.
Stud.
Yeah,
he's even got him as his profile picture.
Yeah. I would too if I made $636 off a little $70 lot.
I respect it.
I mean, that's almost 10x.
I'm so happy. So going away, I leave tomorrow for a week, and then I have one wedding for a weekend to start June, and then I have no travel. And I'm excited to just not travel and start making some plays because now's the time.
There's a lot happening. I love this. I love the making your money back quickly on the 3 cards you sell raw, and then you grade your 2 favorites. You're the 2 one you think look the best. $425 for the Blue Wave is awesome too. Like, that's great work. This is cards, people.
Love it.
This is how it works.
Last one, Jay.
Blue.
One more or no?
Okay. Oh yeah, there is. So this is from Perry Collectibles. It says play of the week submission. I was bidding on auctions from one of my favorite sellers to save on shipping and noticed this card pop up about 2 minutes left in the auction. I thought an Aaron Rodgers rookie auto out of 5 was too cheap, so I threw up a bid last second, $50 above where it was at, and got it for $885. Put it up and buy it now, our best offer for $2,500, and got an offer of $1,800 2 weeks later, which I accepted. After fees and taxes, cleared about $600. Not bad for just 2 weeks.
Real good. Little insight. Aaron Rodgers, number to 5 autos do pretty well, guys. Just a heads up.
It's got Smith and Benson on it too. So Cedric Benson, Alex Smith. I would love to know who the 4th person on that auto
Cedric Benson,
is.
That's a throwback.
Yeah, Cedric Benson.
I would love to know who that is too.
Bengals running back?
Yeah, I got drafted by the Bears in 2005.
Yeah.
Right?
Was he like same time as Cadillac?
Cadillac Williams was 05. Yeah, they
were the same class, right? I feel like they were kind of like neck and neck there for a while.
Ronnie Brown.
Yeah, Ronnie Brown.
Ronnie Brown.
Yeah, Ronnie Brown.
Miami Dolphins.
Yep. Those are the days, man. Cedric Benson, Ronnie.
Wow, you want to know who the other person was? I found it.
Let me guess. Hold on.
Okay, you get 3 guesses.
If I had to guess, my first guess would be Cadillac.
No.
It's a running back.
Is it a running back?
No.
Interesting. Wide receiver.
Is it Mike Williams?
Time.
No. That's 2.
Is it Crabtree?
Crabtree wasn't drafted till 2000. 2009.
I'll give you one more because this is fun. And it's going to be a funny name when you get it.
Can you give me AFC or NFC?
AFC. AFC North.
Braylon Edwards.
No, that's a good one, though. It's Mark Clayton.
Mark Clayton, wide receiver.
I would never pulled that.
Yeah, that's a deep pull.
Mark Clayton go to Oregon?
He went to a Pac-12 school. I don't remember which one.
Was he good? I can't even.
If Mark Clayton went to Oregon, man, that's a hell of a pull.
Who's Mark? I don't even know who Mark Clayton is.
Wide receiver. Drafted by the Ravens, I think.
Yes, drafted by the Ravens.
Yeah. Damn. Thought it was Oregon.
He played for Oklahoma. Yeah.
It's a fresh card.
All right. Yeah, that's a good play. These opportunities exist on eBay, right? There's a lot of good things on auction. Been buying some myself on eBay auction. These opportunities exist out there. Not everything is ended at the best time. Not everything has the best title. Not everything has the clearest picture. Like, there are opportunities out there. We've talked about this before with our eBay searches in the past. Like, this kind of thing exists. It really does.
Yeah. And there's also something too, like the psychology of an auction versus a buy it now. Like, it's, yeah. I know my winner. My winner is the Marvel packs for sure. So I'll go first. Marvel packs for me.
Over to you, Ryan.
Oh, Ty, I'm gonna let you go because I'm so torn. This is actually a really good week for only 4
rifle
plays.
Rifle me through.
Got the Silva Gold out of a $5.
That was a great pickup.
You got the packs, negotiated those. You got the Rodgers rookie, and then you've got the last one was the Tyrese Maxey deal.
I'm going to go with Anderson Silva play. And the reason I'm going to go with the Anderson Silva play is because I love gold. I love gold. What up, baby? Josh just popped in for the end of the last 5 minutes of the podcast. Josh, there was up for dogs. We have dogs in the building here. I'll be with you in 1 second. Hell yeah, whatever you need. Right in the fridge here. Anderson Silva, legend, gold, $5 box, flip. Felt the funny feeling in his gut where it sells, and you kind of wish you had more, listed for more. There's like lessons in success, which is a sneaky feeling. That's where I'm at. And shout out Canada.
So I think this is actually a really sneaky week. There's some really good plays here. I love the buy an auction on eBay, listed as a buy it now. I love that idea. I love buying a lot on Facebook, selling things different ways, right? A couple eBay auctions, eBay buy it nows, a Raz, all sorts of different things. Grade a few, sell a few. Love that. Love the idea of finding a all-time guy at gold, right? Popular number, popular color in a $5 box, selling it for, $80 profit. Like, I love that. But hey, curious mind, what is this? What could this be? Let me look at it. Okay, these are decent. I got to go with the Marvel play. I think the Marvel play is I'm intrigued by it. We went to an antique mall not too long ago, did this at an antique mall, right? Found some Legos that were priced at 30 that sold for 60. And I think the opportunity is out there in all sorts of different cards and collectibles. So getting curious when you're trying to go through something else and stumbling upon something like this and it just turning into something so big, making $1,500 on cheap packs and just flea market, not your average place to find cards. It's not a card show. It's not a card shop. It's not Facebook or Instagram. So I would say, Alex, this is my winner this week. So I would go with the Marvel packs and I would lock that in as the winner.
I like that. And my guys, Alex got a good position at the top.
He's got
a good position at the top in the golf swing, and he deserves it. I hope he goes low this weekend.
It did say he was at a local flea market outside of Louisville. I would love to know that he was in Ohio. He lives in Ohio, maybe just travel there for a weekend. That would make this 50 times better. I'm sure that's not the case, but that would just be a little.
We need the data. Top. We need the data badly.
Could you imagine?
No, I can't imagine.
Lou, you're on mute.
Lou would be upset about it.
I cannot have that. That can't happen.
So, I mean, if Ohio wins a couple more times pre-national, post-national, Lou's going to ask Jayson to ask everyone where they're from prior to submitting.
I thought we were already doing that. I feel like that should be a requirement.
It definitely should not be. That's totally like an invasion of privacy.
No,
sure.
Louisville, Kentucky. We're chilling.
So, all right. Shout out to everybody who submitted for Play of the Week. Again, if you guys want to submit Play of the Week, feel free to reach out to Card Talk Pod on IG or Twitter. I know Jayson is always looking for new submissions. So shout out to those of you that submitted this week. All right, wrapping it up, we've got latest launch. So talking about some of the stuff that comes out this week. Not a lot. It's a light week. You've got Stadium Club Bundesliga Soccer. You've got Topps Sterling Baseball. You got PRIZM Draft Picks Collegiate H2. You got Gypsy Queen Baseball. And then I didn't realize this was supposed to come out this week. I thought this was next week, but it does say SP Authentic Golf is on there for this week. I know Ty's locked in on that.
Got the PGA this weekend. Major tournament upcoming this weekend.
Tiger going to play?
I don't think so.
He was on the course.
Let's see. Tiger, PGA. Let's see.
All right, I have to go, so I can't really hear the update on Tiger's playing status.
All right, so we got this week, guys.
He's feeling strong. I think.
That's good.
You know who's not playing? Phil Mickelson. Guy's down bad.
Shocker. See you, everybody.
All right, see you guys next week. Peace, guys.
See you. Bye.